Is Drew Eubanks better than Christian Wood? That and other key takeaways from the Phoenix Suns v. the Lakers, the last game of the preseason. Eubanks, is he better than Wood? Is he better value? Is he a better shooter, shot blocker, passer, and much more? Would he have been a better fit for the Lakers if we didn't wait all that time to get Christian Wood? Welcome to the Larry Lakers podcast and YouTube. Please give us a like, subscribe, put some comments, put some questions. You can send them also to thelarrylakers@gmail. Now, we've got a preseason where Phoenix have smashed us in the last game 123-100. There were times it looked like a Drew League game. It wasn't great at all the time. A couple of good signs, but some really concerning signs. One that's left us with more questions than answers, even though we were excited to get the first preseason where all our players could be together. We've left with more questions than solutions. One of them is, did James Jones outdo Pelinka? Good question there from D Styles at the nation's capital, one of our listeners. Great question. Well, have a look at this score sheet. Where were players for Pelinka like Kimetsi Metu? Wouldn't we have loved that on the Lakers? We needed a power forward. We've said on this show, go back and have a look. There's one there. Did Pelinka, was he on trend, missing trend on Watford? Go and have a look at those where we said we need a power forward who can bump and bang and maybe throw a three up. Kimetsi Metu, 9 minutes, plus 12 in his real plus minus. 9 points. He's got 2 steals and 3 of 5 from threes. How good would that be for the Lakers on the bench on a minimum contract for 2 years? Drew Eubanks, 16 minutes. He's the guy we started this show off with. He's the one that really stood out. We probably could have, if we snapped him up early. They were very early to get on to this signing, the Phoenix Suns, so full credit to them. Drew Eubanks, 16 minutes, plus 25, 7 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's looking like Draymond Green for the Phoenix Suns. How did we miss that one? He's looked good before. He looked good at Portland. He looked handy at the Spurs. I thought we should have been round there having a look at him just as much as Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood. Yuta Watanabe, 16 minutes, plus 22 on the points, just the 12 points, but 50% from three. How good would that have been on our bench? Keita Bates-Diop, 15 minutes. He's got a real plus minus of plus 17. 3 steals, handy defensively. 2 of 2, 50% from field goals, and a couple of rebounds thrown in. All of that with the young guys, we needed to be younger with the Lakers. We've got younger. Well done there, Pelinka. But these guys are young, and they throw on top the veteran, Eric Gordon. What a good signing. They've had a good off-season. As much praise as we give Pelinka, where we're clapping for him, hang on a second. Let's hold off on the awards. We might put them back in the box because it looks like James Jones has had a good off-season there for the Phoenix Suns. We need a bigger sample size. It's only one game, but we'd like to know what's going on and how our parts fit together there. Put Pelinka awards on hold. One game. Let's go with the first time in 5 years if you want to ask about positives. People have said, well, Tony, if you're going to do that, what are some positives? The first time in 5 years, LeBron and KD have actually matched up in a game. Funny how these things shift around and it doesn't occur that one's available at the same time and they end up playing, or they've moved conferences and sides of the country, teams, and now they've had to line up. So 5 years, who knew that? Would have been a great Trivia Pursuit question. AD looked really good. AD, 6 blocks. Fantastic. 6 blocks. And the team, 13 blocks to 3. But having said that, on the concern side, we were out-rebounded 50-36. Whew. We were outscored in the paint 52-44. There is some argument, though, on the positives. The A-team, they look good. They jumped out to a really early start, but they let them back in, which might be a bit of a concern. Jackson Hayes looked good in patches, a couple of times linking with D'Angelo Russell, a couple of little passes over the top. And credit D'Angelo Russell was setting those up, but the athleticism that was way above the ring and a smashing dunk, worth going back on the highlights to have a look at. All the talk of it being a quiet, Drew League type game in parts and extended garbage time, but there are a couple of moments worth having a look at. And the Jackson Hayes one, have a look at that. What are some concerns? Look, the flow chart, let's have a look at it now. The A team, as we said, great start, but let them back in late first quarter, late second quarter, as we started to put some bench players on. They claimed it back, but the Phoenix bench smashed our bench. Need to have a look at that. I'm sure there's a couple of players missing that could be bench contributors, like Gabe Vincent and Vando, might have made a difference. Jalen Chafino, maybe. But Phoenix bench smashed ours. They got out to a lead by as much as 25, and they got there really quickly and then held it. So a little bit of a concern there for Darvin Ham going into the season. Looking at the Lakers starters, though, some nice stories. Davis still looking good this season. He's had a great preseason, played every game. What a sign. Wants to play 82 games. As we said, be happy to see him play 70, 75. That'd be a great start. Look, Davis, 23 minutes, +2 in the real plus minus, 15 points, 6 blocks. Fantastic. What's also good, 1 of 3 from that three-pointer. Darvin Ham wants him to take 6 a game. I don't know if he'll get as many as 6 up, but he only played 23 minutes today and got 3 up. So maybe he could. If he could hit 2 from 5, I'd be really excited. That season where they won the comp in the 2020, the bubble, Davis, that shot, usually when his three's on, that extended. He can take long two-pointers, and he's in good form. That's a good sign. T Prince, 17 minutes. This is how real plus minus can be deceptive. Only scored the 3 points, but he's +15. LeBron, 22 minutes. Some good signs here. 6 of 12. 3 of 5's the excitement from the 3. Don't fall in love with it, though. It's last season it shifted around a bit on him, but if he could keep anything like that, we'd be excited. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 19 points, +2 in the real plus minus. D'Angelo Russell, a quiet night, 0 from 4 at 3. This is what we are asking about, the trouble as we get those bigger teams. How's he going to go against Denver? We're going to find out. It's first game of the season. 0 from 4 from 3. 6 assists, that's what we're saying. If he doesn't hit those threes, can he contribute other ways, D'Angelo? In the preseason, he's a couple of games in a row, he snuck in and got a little block as players got around him, a couple of blocks from behind. They were surprised to look up, and it was D'Angelo Russell, not a defensive specialist. So there's some good signs there. Austin Reeves, 24 minutes, 14 points. Here's the real good news. 3 of 4 from three-point shooting. Was on -3, but he was on in some of those late sections of the quarters where the push from the Phoenix Suns were. Now, avert your eyes or look away if you don't want to look at this, but this is the tough news story. The bench. Rui Hachimura, 1 of 5 from field goals, a -30 in the real plus minus. That's not his best. He's been pretty good the rest of the preseason. 1 rebound in 19 minutes, Rui. Usually he's been stronger than that. 3 points only there, -30 real plus. Christian Wood, as we said, some concerns. Just the 15 minutes. Maybe that's around where we should be playing him, 12, 15 minutes. If he can handle that, what's been promised to him, we don't know. But he looked at all at sea today. 1 of 4 from the field goals. Did sneak the 6 rebounds in. -35 on the real plus minus. Hurts. 2 points total for that 15 minutes. Cam Reddish, again, would you like to have Kemetsi Metu v Cam Reddish? But we've always had this infatuation, the Lakers organisation, with Cam Reddish. They wanted to get him. It seemed inevitable that he'd get there eventually. Looked at trading for him a couple of times. 22 minutes, 1 of 4 on the field goals, 2 rebounds, and 4 turnovers. The poor old Cam Reddish, -28. Not a great news story today. Jackson Hayes, up and down. Good sign, some excitement. 13 minutes, 3 of 3, great field goal percentage, and 3 rebounds, but -18 for his 17 points, -18 on the real plus minus. That can be deceiving, and you can end up with bench players or the combinations. Can't look too much into it, but we have to look at something in terms of where this game was lost. And when it gets out to 25 and you get smashed in that second half, well, there's going to be some damage on the real plus minus. Colin Castleton, people have sent in questions before, and they've said, I think it was Big Mums Blocks Tons, sent a message in, is Colin Castleton perhaps better than Christian Wood? Well, today he was, but he's on with the sort of the garbage time, the Summer League guys in those last quarters, all pre-season. Hard to tell how he would go against the top competition yet. 10 minutes, 4 or 5 from the field goals. That's lovely. The 3 rebounds, sometimes he gets more rebounds, a little less on the field goal percentage, but 9 points, -1. So they sort of held their own, the Summer League boys, in that last 10 minutes. Max Christie, 21 minutes, -15 is real plus. Again, he's playing with the bench. I think he still looks classy, but where do you put him, Darvingham? And we didn't get any answers today from where you might play Max Christie. 4 of 8 was nice, 2 of 3 from the 3. If you can keep doing that, at least he'll be good for some bench minutes anytime you need him, but he might have to have a season at the moment where he's very little one game, a little bit more the next. We're not sure where he's on Darvinham's roster yet. To be fair, as we said, no Gabe Vincent with the back stiffness, should be back. And Vando, who was listed day-to-day, concerned he's missed more and more games with that heel soreness. So maybe Vando, one to watch. We need him back, even if he has to miss the Denver game. A great matchup defender on at least 3 positions he can cover on switching. So we certainly need Vando back. We've got a preseason where we had praise for Pelinka. Hoped it was the first preseason where we'd have everyone together. We haven't had them all together yet. It's better than last year where we're looking at a team that might change all the way up to the trade deadline. But we haven't quite gelled yet. The top team's looking pretty good. Anthony Davis is looking great, but we've probably got more questions about how it all fits together than answers there and we better hold off with the Pelinka Awards. And what have we got to go next? 3 days to work it all out there, Darvingham. Well, you do have an 82-game season, to be fair. But in 3 days, what can they work out for a good showing against the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions, versus the Lakers? 3 days from now, October 24, Lakers, Denver. Until then, please like, subscribe, comment. We love getting your comments and your questions. Have a look at the podcast or listen to the podcast if you're a person who likes something in the car. You've had a listen to the others. You've looked at the other YouTubes and you just want a little bit more Lakers. Put us on. Give us a go. Give us a like. Thank you, the Larry Lakers. I'm Tony. Until next time, thank you.